What do you think, Sam?
What?
What do you think?
You want me to do like a whole thing?
Yeah.
It's sweet but rustic. It's a good balance. The texture is perfect between the.
Nah, you don't have to do all that. You can just say whatever you're feeling. If it sucks, you tell me it sucks.
No, it's legit.
Okay. That's what's up. So I got a question for y'all. Do y'all prefer pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie? Because I always have this debate, right? Some people like their pumpkin pies. Some people like their sweet potato pies. For me, it's always been sweet potato because the flavor is a little extra, more than pumpkin. It's more special for me. So I'm going to be making y'all a sweet potato pie today. So follow this recipe, follow along. Let's go. What's up, family? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So what you're going to do is you're going to clean these potatoes. I got 2 medium sized and 2 large potatoes, and you're going to fork them. And because so when you bake them, you know, it cooks completely through. So for the medium size, it's going to take about 60 minutes. The large, probably 80 minutes at 425. And then let it completely cool and take off all the peelings, you know, basically take off the skin of the sweet potato. And making this in the oven is a better idea than boiling the sweet potato because you got more flavor. So right here what I'm doing is I'm melting basically about half a cup of butter, and I'm not, it looks like I'm making melted butter, but I'm actually going to make brown butter. So if you ever had made ghee, you know, you just let the butter boil and then basically you don't touch it. But when you make brown butter, you need to mess with it. You need to keep whisking it so you get the milk solids in the bottom a little bit and it browns. So you see what science is doing right there, and that's basically gonna give your pie the most amazing taste. If you just put regular butter, it won't be as good as if you would make it with brown butter. You see how the color is changing right there? Now that's what you want. Now you don't want to go too dark because you don't want black butter because that's burnt. Okay, you want to get a brown butter, and nice and beautiful, and your whole house will be smelling like a candy shop. Right there, you want to let it cool before you add it to your pie. That's very important. So don't add it to your pie right away. You want to let it cool for a little bit before you add it to your pie. So now I have about 3 cups of sweet potatoes, okay? And the thing about sweet potatoes is they get strands because it's a tuber. So what you got to do is you got to clean them, you got to run them through the water. You got to do this process like 6 times before you add anything. If not, your sweet potato pie is going to have strands, and nobody wants a sweet potato pie with strands, okay? You can't bring them to any parties. People will be saying, oh yeah, it's good, but like, hey man, I don't like these strands. So after you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to add some brown butter to this dish, okay? You're going to put the brown butter, and now you're going to start beating it. So sweet potatoes are delicious by themselves, but when you put brown butter to them, it takes them to a whole new dimension. All right, so y'all got to do this with brown butter. The next ingredient is going to be some white sugar, right? Half a cup of it, and then some brown sugar. Okay, so the complex of sugars. You can just put 1 cup of white sugar if you don't want to use brown sugar, but then you'll have to add molasses for like that brown sugar feel. Because when you taste the sweet potato pie, you know, it has complex flavors. So there's white sugar in there, it's a little bit of brown sugar in there. So that's why we're doing this. The next step is to add room temperature eggs. You can't add cold eggs because, you know, it might separate. So add room temperature eggs. I added 2 eggs, 1 by 1, and then 1 egg yolk. It helps to prevent any type of cracking when the pie bakes. Sometimes your pie has cracks. It's because it's too many eggs and the egg whites kind of separate. So that's why that happens. The next ingredient you're going to add is some evaporated milk. Now you can add half and half or whole heavy cream here, but I prefer evaporated milk. It just works better for me. So that's what I did right here, and mix it all up. And the next stages is gonna be adding some lemon zest. Yes, that lemon zest is gonna kind of uplift the sweet potato pie. It's gonna give it a different dimension. Now, if you don't like adding lemon zest or you're not a big fan of lemon zest, you can leave this out, but add a little bit of lemon zest. And then I added about a tablespoon of really high quality Madagascar vanilla, right? And that will elevate the pie to another level. Now, this is some Sri Lankan cinnamon, all right? This is not that Chinese cinnamon you get at Walmart, all right? This is some good cinnamon. I didn't have a cinnamon powder, so I just put this in my coffee grinder, and I was basically gonna grind me some cinnamon powder right here. I know during the holiday times, we eat a lot of stuff that has a lot of sugar and fat and all that, so why not add a little bit of antioxidants, okay? True Sri Lankan cinnamon has antioxidants in it, people. That Chinese cinnamon y'all buy at Walmart, that cassia bark, it does not, okay? So that's why you want to get this. And if you can get the cinnamon powder already, you know, that's perfect. If not, you can get one of these online or at Mexican stores, or I actually found this cinnamon at Target. You know, as long as it's like, it looks like a cigar rolled up and it says canela on it, that's the real canela, okay? That's the better bark. Now that right there is some cinnamon powder. I put about a half a teaspoon of that in right there. And then I was being a little bougie. I had nutmeg that I picked up from the store. So I never do this, man, because normally I have nutmeg powder, but this fresh nutmeg just blew my mind. You know, everybody's like, oh yeah, just do a little fresh nutmeg on this and a little bit of fresh nutmeg on that. So I was like, you know, let me test it out. And man, this nutmeg, this fresh nutmeg makes a huge difference, okay? So all you gotta do is just, you know, go ahead and shave it down a little bit, and you only need about half a teaspoon worth of nutmeg. See right there? You got that nutmeg ready. That's what you need. Your whole house is gonna be smelling like Christmas, you know, because that's what we're doing. We're doing this pie for Christmas, right? Christmas party around that time. And another idea came to my mind. It's like, how about if I added some little bit of cardamom, you know, just give that little Christmassy flavor. Okay, so I added some ground ginger, half a quarter teaspoon, and a quarter teaspoon of cardamom, and a little bit of cloves. And then I mix it all up. So you should be tasting your pie as you go. You know, if something doesn't taste right, you know, you got to fix it right there before, you know, you put it in the oven, because this is the final stage to fix it. Now, I added a little bit of salt. So that was about a quarter teaspoon of salt, because salt elevates the dish a little bit more. When you especially make sweets, you put a little bit of salt, it definitely helps. And the acid a little bit helps too. Right there, I'm adding some orange and passion fruit juice, so the pie will be well balanced in taste. And then I didn't want this to be a runny pie, so I added 1 tablespoon of just regular flour and then beat it up. And then basically that's all the mix. And you know, now you should taste your pie and see if, like, you know, if it's too runny, if it's not as, you know, if it's firm, if it's too firm, you know, whatever you got to do to adjust it. And I had a store-bought pie shell, so that's what I did. I just added the pie right there, because I was cooking this late night, you know, like past midnight. So it was like, you know, let me hurry up and get this pie done, and then bake this at 350 for about an hour. And then the next day I had an office party, so I had my co-workers and everybody try this pie, and they're gonna let you know how they like it. And there it is, the sweet potato pie.
Yeah, the cardamom and the clove makes it
It's good?
so good.
Okay.
I've had a lot of sweet potato in my life.
Okay.
From Oakland to San Francisco, Louisiana, all over. I've never had one like this.
Hey, that's good.
I've never had one like this.
Appreciate it, man.
Even my mom has
Oh, dang. Don't tell her that. Like it? Good?
Oh my God. This is so good.
Good? If y'all enjoyed that video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to feast with Pete, and Merry Christmas.